Welcome back to Action 2 News at 6. The Green Bay Metro Fire Department is receiving national recognition for its work in public safety technology.
And they're using a newer system that's accessible by phone. Tristan Kendrick tells us more about the digital system helping the department save lives.
What you're seeing isn't just someone texting. It's how the Green Bay Metro Fire Department uses a system called TAC. It stands for Team Awareness Kit, and it's used from a cell phone. It's a real-time mapping and situational awareness software suite developed by the U.S. Department of Defense.
We didn't have to call over the radio. We could just pinpoint exactly where they were at a map, and if there was a problem, send somebody that would be the closest to the incident, so we had better response times. We used it during the Green Bay converting fire. We were actually able to pinpoint locations of fire apparatus, some of the personnel.
The fire department's IT specialist, Gwen Magar, uses it to coordinate field operations across the city. This year, Firehouse Magazine featured Green Bay Metro Fire for managing crowds and guiding rapid responses during the 2025 NFL Draft. The magazine is an educational hub focusing on tactical training and gear technology to improve fireground safety. Gwen says it makes their job easier.
Our command staff, like the fire chiefs and battalion chiefs, they actually use it for all of the special events like the Epic Marathon or the Bellin Marathon. We can put in a map exactly the race route, water points, emergency points, so that way they can see exactly where people are and point them to the closest spot.
Another firefighter says they use the system that's on their cell phone just about every day to respond to situations. He says the department is now adding a new drone system to help them respond even more fast and efficiently.
When they launch, they're able to see not only Green Bay apparatus, but if we're doing a call out with a SWAT team or something like that, we can also view other SWAT members to know who's who in a situation.
The department says while getting national recognition is nice, they just want to make sure that everyone makes it home safe. In Green Bay, Tristan Kendrick, Action 2 News.